Ready for a lesson in turtle power?
It really seems like we are blessed with a new renaissance of modern TMNT games. I mean, the last few years gave us so many amazing titles in very varying genres. The 2022's Kawabanga collection seemingly ignited the spark, re-releasing pretty much all the classic Ninja Turtles games from the arcade and NES era, followed by the absolutely stellar Shredder's Revenge that tried to give us a modern interpretation of these retro TMNT beat-em-ups and succeeded quite impressively. And now there's a bunch of TMNT games coming out every year, with at least one per year being genuinely great and the others being... well, still very entertaining in their own way. So while I could easily fill an entire video talking about all these new TMNT games, I personally love Splintered Fate by the way, I want to focus on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles content in other video game franchises. Because I was honestly pretty surprised to discover how much there really is. Like, I knew the Turtles were in Injustice 2, and I still think it's absolutely amazing to beat up Superman as Donatello, but there's so much more. For example, I recently bought Hot Wheels Unleashed in a Steam sale, because for me it's the perfect Steam Deck game to play for 20 minutes from time to time. And in Hot Wheels Unleashed you get these mystery boxes to unlock new cars with. Because God forbid a modern game marketed towards a young audience releases without the opportunity to waste thousands on a digital gambling addiction. Anyway, imagine my surprise when I opened one of these boxes I got for free and found the freaking Turtle Ran in it. I knew beforehand that there are Ninja Turtle DLC cars for the game. $2 per car is more expensive than an actual Hot Wheel by the way. So I knew there's some TMNT content in the game. But honestly, that made my surprise even bigger, because I never expected to get any of it for free. Especially not the Turtle Van. And the best thing is, this is an actual Hot Wheel that I managed to find in a garage sale like 5 days later by absolute fucking chance. And now I'm the proud owner of another piece of semi-obscure Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles merch. The game itself is fine to me. I do enjoy playing it, but like I said, not more than 20 minutes at a time. But being able to compete with the Turtle Van against some dinosaurs on wheels, the Batmobile and a regular Ford Mustang is really fun. Because Hot Wheels Unleashed is a rare game where such a soulless Fortnite-esque crossover actually makes sense. You're racing little toy cars that actually exist, so it doesn't feel forced to clash these franchises together like this. Even though the game does bring me dangerously close to having Ready Player One flashbacks. Ugh. Speaking of something that simply makes sense, the Turtles as playable characters in the Tony Hawk games. I mean, yeah, pairing a skateboarding game with TMNT skins is a phenomenal idea. Or at least a better idea than using some other franchise for it. This was a crossover with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, and I really love that this game has its own page on the TMNT wiki now. And I also really appreciate that the developers decided to use the IDW comic designs of the Turtles. I get that the 80s Turtles are the most widely recognized and iconic designs, so it makes sense that seemingly every piece of merchandise is themed around that show, but that makes it even more fun when the other versions get some time to shine. Good stuff. The remake uses the Mutant Mayhem designs that I also really like, but the IDW versions do fit in this game's atmosphere and art style way better in my opinion. The devs made up for it with a hidden sewer layer though, so I won't complain. What I will complain about though is the next game, cause contrary to what we just went over, the next crossover makes absolutely no sense at all. TMNT car decals in Nascar Heat Evolution. What? So apparently there was a yearly NASCAR event called the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 400. How the f did I not know about this? And more importantly, how the f is this a real thing? The wiki says it took place every year from 2001 to 2019, and it seemed to be quite the relevant event for the NASCAR community. Relevant enough to be featured in the official NASCAR video game, I guess. God, TMNT can be such a strange franchise, man. A TMNT themed NASCAR race. I mean, what am I supposed to do with that information? 2016 was apparently the most heavily TMNT inspired event, so maybe I'll watch and discuss it at some point. But until then, let's continue with a less headache inducing crossover. Just like... yeah, to be honest, I'm as confused as you are. Jetpack Joyride received Ninja Turtle skins in the year of our Lord 2021. I guess some companies got really bored during COVID. I'm not complaining though, don't get me wrong. I'm simply trying to find the hidden cameras. Jetpack Joyride of all games, man. I haven't even heard anyone mentioning this game for like 8 years? Oh well, time to relive my teens and get addicted to Jetpack Joyride again, I guess. Give me a moment. I think I have it enough for now. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, it's unfortunate that stuff like this is always only available for a limited time, so I can't check it out for myself anymore. I mean, I'm not missing that much, it is only a bunch of skins after all, but come on, they turned the little stumper into a Mauser. That's pretty creative. And I like that the TMNT Strong Arm machine, aka the Kawabunga carriage, resembles the turtleneck from TMNT 2012 to some extent. I mean, maybe they're just both turtle-inspired mechs, but still! The turtles have also recently been in Street Fighter, because we live in the wrong timeline. But as far as I understand it, they aren't actual new characters with unique movesets or anything. The turtles aren't anything more than overpriced costumes for the customizable characters with a few new emotes, trying to rip off Injustice without putting in any actual effort. So let's talk about Injustice instead, because wow, this DLC is genuinely fantastic. For $10, we get all 4 of the turtles with a completely new and very polished design, plus some alternate outfits, an entirely new moveset that also varies between the 4 and uses their unique weapons and character traits in interesting ways, and full voice acting for every character interaction imaginable. So if you ever wanted to see Michelangelo getting insulted by Gorilla Grodd,
Give serious thought to walking away, dude.
I'll suck the marrow from your bones.
That is like creepy dark, dude.
happy birthday! Playing Injustice 2 again kinda just makes me yearn for an actual modern TMNT fighting game though. This franchise has more than enough unique characters to fill a fun roster, and I desperately just want to beat the crap out of Krang while playing as Karai. But it cannot be understated how great of a DLC this is. $10 for all 4 very passionately designed turtles, while Street Fighter 6 charged you $15 for only one of them with way less effort.
Shell shock.
15 for one turtle is insanity. $60 for all 4 of them. That's the price of an entire game. Anyway, Injustice. They're fun to play here as well. Leonardo can summon his brothers one at a time to land an additional hit on his opponent. Not only is that a pretty powerful move for a new player like me, I will also never get tired of seeing Mikey run in and hit Supergirl in the face with a skateboard. She really has a good heart though, pretending like that piece of wood made her feel anything at all. Okay, let me think about what game I can write a funny transition to. Lego Fortnite? Nah, not really. Rocket League? Ah, too soon for another car game. Call of Duty Black Ops 6? Maybe. Wait, did I just read Call of Duty Black Ops 6? Oh, is that one of the Call of Duty games everyone hates? Yeah, that checks out. I personally don't know how to feel about this, like, at all. It's not like I'm the biggest Call of Duty fan or anything. I already invested way too much time and money into another once great franchise that's been ruined by corporate greed and incompetence. Rest in peace, Need for Speed. And I won't pretend like seeing these TMNT references wouldn't excite me to some extent, but Call of Duty seems to be the completely wrong franchise for this. I mean, come on. What do 4 goofy-ass close combat fighters have to do with the semi-realistic special ops video games? If anything, I'd say a TMNT crossover would feel way more natural with a game like Team Fortress 2 or... Oh, we'll get to that. The Call of Duty crossover just reminds me of Magic the Gathering in a way. Like, I don't have a lot of personal experience or stakes in this, and I do think it's kinda cool that the turtles are here and get marketed towards a new audience this way, but I also see how misplaced this crossover is. Like, companies have to make sure they choose a good place and time for a crossover like this. Otherwise, it'll simply come across as a soulless cash grab. And also, not everything needs to cross over with everything all the time. The fun of crossovers is kinda lost when it feels like that's the only kind of content we currently get. I mean, Spider-Man gets a magic card, the Ninja Turtles invade Call of Duty? What's next? A TMNT themed vehicle in World of Tanks? Oh, you got to be f***ing kidding me. You know, I started writing this video mainly to talk about Injustice 2 and Hot Wheels Unleashed and to drop some obscure fun facts like, did you know Raphael is a playable character in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater? I absolutely did not expect to discover some weird TMNT Nascar race or the fact that Leonardo took part in the Vietnam War. Again, this is kinda fun and the tanks are very well designed and all, but why? I guess I just have to accept that this is what gaming is like nowadays. Live service games have a never-ending need for more content, and crossovers are the easiest way to grab people's interest. I won't claim that I don't think a Technodrome-inspired tank is kinda cool, but at the same time I can't keep myself from being at least somewhat cynical about this. And I'm completely aware that I'm applying inconsistent standards here. Why do Hot Wheels and Tony Hawk get a pass, while Call of Duty and World of Tanks don't? Well, the the reason for that is honestly just that they feel way more forced and corporate to me. Like, what does the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise have to do with a semi-realistic tank simulator? This one scene from Out of the Shadows? While I can totally see the at least somewhat creative idea behind Hot Wheels or Tony Hawk, in the case of World of Tanks, I can't help myself but feel like the developers desperately tried to create more content, just for the sake of creating more content, even if there's no thematic synergy between these brands. But that's entirely subjective, of course, and to be completely honest, my desire to play World of Tanks has never been higher than now. And hey, at least we're finally done talking about TMNT content in military games. Yeah, that's on me. I shouldn't have said something, sorry. Excuse me? What's this? Sex? What is this? You know, humanity could have and should have solved world hunger by now. Instead, we designed a Ninja Turtles themed warship. And I feel like I've said that already, but why? I mean, it's kinda cool that you can see the turtle blip being stored on the ship, but other than that, please don't expect me to have an opinion about this. Man, now I desperately need something fun and uplifting to talk about. Oh, I am so tired. The pixel art 2000s road trip RPG Keep Driving, that I absolutely adore by the way, references the turtles in a very harmless and cute way. In the game, you have to manage creative obstacles as well as different statuses like being tired or hungry. And of course, your best fighting chance against hunger is buying a pizza that charmingly references Mikey's favorite expression, cowabunga, in the description. And even though that's technically not a DLC, like, not at all, I really needed that. And now that we're talking about cars again, I guess it's as good a time as any to talk about my old arch nemesis, Rocket League. I used to play this game without end a couple of years ago, never becoming any good at it, but always being drawn back to it by new and pretty unique crossover events. I even made some painfully unfunny Let's Plays back on my old German channel. But by the time the Ninja Turtles crossover dropped in 2025, I was unfortunately gone for good. And looking at the content this event provided, it really seems like I didn't miss that much. A new car, some decals, and a quote-unquote new playstyle that lazily reused a bunch of stuff we already knew from other game modes for many years at this point. The most noteworthy thing this whole crossover event did was turning the ice hockey puck into a pizza slice. Which is a great idea, I have to give them that. But the rest just feels very uninspired to me, which is fine. Like, Rocket League was a whole decade old by the time the Turtles content released. So I totally understand that it's really hard to come up with new ideas that feel genuinely new and exciting. But I think it's still very reasonable to expect at least a little bit more effort. We got the Turtle Van, which is great, but why wasn't there a New York City sewers map or at least a new goal celebration? Stuff like that used to be a given, but oh well. I guess I should be grateful they half-assed this, otherwise I might have started to play Rocket League again, and I don't know if my marriage would have survived that. Anyway, my notes say that I should write a transition to Fortnite now, so this is my last video. Goodbye. In all honesty, I can't really joke about this too much, because the TMNT Fortnite crossover is genuinely incredible. First of all, the turtles themselves look amazing. They have such great and vibrant designs that fit the game's vibe and art style very well. The developers clearly tried to incorporate iconic elements from different iterations of these characters, and I just appreciate the effort so much. And I'm so glad they decided to create unique designs in the first place. They could have easily opted to use the classic but overused 80s designs, the somewhat fitting 2012 ones, or the most recent versions. But no, they actually put in the effort and created completely new interpretations that I would genuinely enjoy to see in a comic book at some point. They kinda remind me of the TMNT Naruto crossover designs that are also pretty great. Man, this franchise really is nothing but crossovers at this point, isn't it? The turtles have been in the upside down, did you know that? Back to Fortnite, cause we also got April, Splinter, and Shredder in the first wave. Also looking fresh and new. But who the hell cares about them when we got f***ing Casey Jones later down the line? Finally, some actual good-looking Casey Jones representation. Because for such an interesting and integral character of this franchise, he's severely underused in nearly any form of TMNT media these days. And I'm honestly sick of it. Give me more Casey Jones, please. Thank you! The turtles are also playable in Fortnite Festival with unique instruments and shit. And I know Fortnite as the giant cash grab multimedia crossover it evolved into should make me way more worried and cynical. But look, it's a Michelangelo themed microphone with nunchuck chains attached to it. The Fortniteification of modern gaming is a very concerning discussion to be had. But at least the Fortnite team, you know, tries? At least they released soulless cash grabs with a pretty commendable amount of effort put into it. I mean, just compare the Fortnite event to... Never mind. I mean, Fortnite even released a prop pack for players to develop their own maps and playstyles, which is so awesome. If I ever have like 500 hours of free time, I make the greatest TMNT Fortnite map imaginable. The turtles also appeared in Lego Fortnite with absolutely striking minifigure designs that continue to confuse me. Not that I necessarily need more laughably overpriced Lego sets to not buy, but the devs put in so much passion and effort to design some of the most beautiful minifigs I've ever seen, just for Lego to not do anything with them. I'm sure they'll make a Lego minifigure series at some point, and I also understand that licensing all this crap must be a nightmare. But still, you'd think that would be the plan here, for digital and physical products to run side by side and promote each other, but oh well. Though I'm sure Lego Fortnite helped to make the new Ninja Turtles brickheads a reality, but... anyway, Splatoon. So, there was a TMNT themed Splatfest in Splatoon 2, and let me just say that I don't have the slightest clue of what any of what I just said means. I tried to find solid information about this event's content, but what I discovered instead was a fellow YouTuber that seemingly went through a really rough time and felt the need to let it out on Raphael.
Splatfest! Who am I gonna pick? Who am I gonna pick? It's gonna be Leo, because Raphael's a little turtle bitch. Let me tell you why you shouldn't be voting for Raphael, okay? He uses bitch pokers, while Leo, he uses dual blades. He uses 2 swords. That's badass, man. Not only that, Raphael looks like a little bitch. Look at him. You don't want to vote for a little bitch, do you? Vote for the cool guy. Look, Blue. And not only that, Leonardo's in a bunch of good movies. How many good movies is Raphael in? I don't know, 0, because he's a big sucking big motherfucker bitch ass bitching.
Like, more often than not, I prefer Leo as well, but Jesus. Anyway, Splatoon 2 is a sucking bitch game that has big fucking bitch shirts with big fucking Ninja Turtles on them. God, even reading this from my script is awful. Anyway, Splatoon 2 is a sucking bitch game that has big fucking bitch shirts with big fucking Ninja Turtles on them. I cannot get through this, man. Yeah, there were Ninja Turtles shirts, but only for a very limited event, meaning you had to give them back after you finished the match, which is, it's so Nintendo. The actual event was pretty neat though, all jokes aside. In the Splatfest, players can choose between 2 teams, Raph versus Leo and Mikey versus Donnie in this instance, and then try their hardest to make their team win. The initial choice influences the popularity contest, and the solo and team match results clear the question of which team is more skilled. Besides the very strong opinions we were faced with just a moment ago, Raph won the first round, as well as Donatello, making them face off against each other in a final showdown. Raph won the popularity vote, absolutely justified in my opinion. But Donnie ultimately won the entire Splatfest based on sheer skill alone, which is also absolutely justified in my opinion. Especially since we're talking about the rise of the TMNT versions of these characters. Like, Wise Donnie's an absolute menace, and I don't think anyone would ever dare to disagree with me on that. Not even his dad.
Purple is a monster. He will fry my TV so all I get is educational shows.
Okay, so next on my list is... Wait, what's Monkey Quest? Yeah, I don't think I have enough time left in my life to figure out what the heck this is, and I'm only 25. Same goes for Smite. Oh, Roblox. Wait, I do want to see Roblox Ninja Turtles designs though. Huh. They look haunting. Who would have thought? And no disrespect to mobile games or people who get a lot of joy out of them. I was very much part of the big mobile game boom in the mid-2010s, so I absolutely get it. But I do still feel that granting a game like Survivor.io the honor of the TMNT license does dampen my excitement for future crossovers pretty severely. I mean, Matchmasters? Really? I'm not offended by this or anything. The exposure is great for the franchise, and I do think it's awesome that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is big enough of a brand to even be considered for all of this. But Matchmasters? Really? Monster Strike? Ark Survival? Stumble Guys? Brawlhalla? Fucking State of Survival? Okay, no. That's where I have to draw the line, man. A game with such an abysmal ad campaign does not deserve the Ninja Turtles license. Please have some fucking standards, Paramount. My god. Okay. I'll stop listing games that I have no clue or no real opinion about. Like, Like Minecraft. Yeah, what the heck even is that? But I really didn't expect this to be such a deep rabbit hole. Like, why are the 80s turtles in a dead live service game called Knockout City? Because they sometimes play ball? Please, think of something specific to this brand. Great job! I'm not the biggest fan of the modern Nickelodeon crossover games, but they can deliver some dumb fun, and you can't deny that it makes sense for the turtles to be here. So why aren't they here? Leo and Mikey are not in Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl 2. Why? Why would you only add 2 of the turtles? Because Raph and Donnie haven't been in the first game and you want things to be fair? The entire appeal of a crossover fighting game like this is to compete in very out there constellations. So the character roster is the very last thing you'd want to be lazy with. What if I want to beat up Uncle Iroh's Shredder? But Shredder's only in the first game and Iroh only in the second. Fucking worthless, man. Honestly. Not giving every turtle unique abilities would be bad enough, but straight up not putting half of them in the game is completely unacceptable. But hey, at least you were able to pay your developers a bit less and rush this game out a bit quicker. Who cares that in the process you made sure that nobody would even be interested in playing this shit? God, screw Nickelodeon and modern gaming. Ugh. I mean, to be fair, it's not all bad, like we just went over. The state of Ninja Turtles video games is currently pretty amazing. Not every game is a hit, but there have been so many hits in recent memory that I really cannot complain. But I think I made it very clear that the sentiment does not necessarily apply to TMNT content in other games. I mean Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Raid Shadow Legends. I rest my case. So while you can go wonder what the point of this video was other than researching and sharing obscure Ninja Turtles facts and clogging up my hard drive with endless gameplay recordings, I'll go watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 400 and probably die of boredom in the process, I guess. Bye! I do want to see Leonardo do that though. Or Casey.